What is good? What is good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, Soul Gamer, and we have another tutorial for you today. um, so I did a tutorial not too long ago on how to install engine audio for vehicles. That was just one method because depending on the file that you download, there's different ways of installation. Essentially that last one was kind of like an add-on where this time is more of a replacement of audio files. So that's going to be the main difference. Um, but before we get started, I did just want to let everybody know this is basically open invitation to anybody that is interested in GTA modding. I actually started a subreddit called GTA5 underscore modding. That's where I actually post a lot of my videos there as well. But I'm trying to build up this community. I've had it for a few months now, just haven't really promoted it. But this will just kind of be a modding community on Reddit as a subreddit. So feel free to post your mod videos there if you'd like, or if you have questions, any helpful information, whatever. That's what this community is for. So again, this is open invitation to any of my followers, or not even if you don't subscribe on YouTube, which I would love if you did, but even if you don't, feel free to join the subreddit that I've created as well. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into today's tutorial. So as I mentioned the last time, I showed you guys how to install vehicle or engine sounds. It was as an add-on, kind of like an add-on car. So we added it to the DLC list and then went in and actually applied it to the vehicle that we wanted that sound to be used with. This is that portion is going to kind of be the same, but this is actually going to be replacing an existing car audio file. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm using the True Hellcat engine sound, and I'll go ahead and link this in the description if you want to download it. But I have a number of Hellcats installed, both Charger and Challenger, and I want to get that real Hellcat sound. So this is why I chose this sound to go with. Also, because it is replacing an existing audio file um, for one of the cars that is already on the game. And so the installation process is going to be a bit different. Now, of course, as always, mod at your own risk. Also, back up your game. Maybe in reverse order. Back up your game first and then mod at your own risk. But so first thing that I typically like to do is take a look at the description course. This particular situation, it's a good thing that I did because I noticed a few things. Now, if you notice, first of all, if you're going to be installing this particular download, which I will have linked down in the description, notice it says True Hellcat Engine Sound 1.1. But if we scroll down to all versions, we have 1.1 current, and then we have 2.0. Okay. Now, the thing is, I was thinking, well, maybe they just forgot to make it current, 2.0 current, but they were also uploaded on the same day. So what I did is took a closer look at them. I downloaded them both, and there are some slight differences. So we'll start out with the True Hellcat sound. This is 1.1. We open up that folder. We'll notice the vehicle that we're first of all replacing the audio for is the Windsor. I believe the Windsor is a luxury vehicle in the game. I'm almost certain it's the one that looks like a Rolls Royce. So, in my opinion, that's not necessarily a vehicle that I would want to replace the engine sound with a Hellcat sound. Now, if we go to True Engine Sound 2.0, open that up, it's actually replacing the Gauntlet. Now the Gauntlet is the essentially the equivalent to a Challenger. Now specifically, the Gauntlet 4 is the Gauntlet Hellfire, which is the equivalent to a Challenger Hellcat. So I would much rather replace the audio um, or on that vehicle because to me it just makes more sense. If you guys have been following my channel, you know I'm I'm all about making things as realistic as possible. So a luxury car or a Rolls Royce type vehicle with a Hellcat engine in it just doesn't sound right to me. Although I'm sure there's somebody out there that might try to do that one day. Anyways, there's also one other thing that I noticed. So the audio is slightly different for each one. So, for example, let's take the engine acceleration. This is for the, well, let's do this. So we can just play them back to back. And actually, it looks like the Gauntlet 4 might have uh, more, more sounds available. But we're gonna do the engine acceleration, okay, for each one. So this is 1.1. All right, and let's see if there's a difference with 2.0. So those two are the same. I think maybe it was, oh, the exhaust acceleration. That's what it was. Okay, so that was the exhaust acceleration for 1.1. This is the exhaust acceleration for 2.0. Okay, so there are subtle differences between the two. Um, Best thing that I could recommend is you just kind of download both of them and listen to which one you would want to install. But when it comes down to this tutorial, I'm going with the 2.0 version. I like that one better. I want it to replace the Gauntlet Hellfire. This is also something that you can use on add-on cars as well. So even though it's replacing a file that is already existing on the game for an existent car, you can also add it to add-on cars. So that's kind of the disclaimer there. Is this is specifically the step-by-step instructions are specifically for the 2.0. Now, the installation instructions aren't going to be much different if you want to do the 1.1. The main difference is going to be this audio path or this path here. I don't know why I said audio path. I think I was looking at the word audio right there. But the main difference is going to be the path of where you're going to install it. And of course, it's going to be installing or replacing the audio for a different vehicle, which means that if you do want it, for example, the Gauntlet 4, you would have to go in and change that. And I'll show you guys how to change that as well. It's exactly the same as we did on the last video. So anyways, we'll get started with the download here. So we have the True Hellcat Noise 2.0 or True Hellcat Sound. I don't know why I keep on saying noise. It's just easier, I guess. But well, first thing we're going to want to do is open up the README file. It gives us step-by-step instructions. So I'm actually going to first move these two files to the desktop, extract them to the desktop. We already have OpenIV open, OpenIV open. All right. And then, so what we're going to need to do is follow this path to install these files. So we'll go to mods, update, x64, DLC packs. And then we're looking for MP Vinewood. Select DLC, and then we'll do x64 again, and then we're going to go into the audio files, and then the SFX folder, which I'm sure stands for sound effects, and then DLC underscore Vinewood. Okay, so here we have a bunch of audio files. Now you'll notice they're not all cars, casino, all kinds of different files. But the important thing is this is where Gauntlet 4 resides. Now we can even open this file up and hear what Gauntlet 4 currently sounds like. All right, so that's what the Gauntlet 4 currently sounds like accelerating, and this is what it's going to sound like after, again, strictly engine. All right, so you can tell there's a big difference there. um, so yeah, also this is how we'll be able to test that it installed properly without even starting up the game. But of course, I'll give you guys a side-by-side comparison once we do. So this is gonna work a bit different. Honestly, I haven't tested if you could just drag and drop the files, but I don't know. I wouldn't recommend doing it. I'd recommend just following the steps as it gives them to us here. So what we're gonna want to do is go to new and then import open formats. Now it automatically takes me to my desktop. That's where I have these two folders extracted to. Now, if you extracted them to your desktop, then they should be in the same place. But if you put them in another folder, basically you just have to find what folder they're in. And then we're first going to go to Gauntlet 4, and we want to select the OAC files. So open that one first. It's going to open up this open formats little box. Now, before pressing OK, I just press add and then go back to my desktop and get the NPC and then select that OAC file. Okay, and now we have both of them selected and we could just import them both. Now, one thing I typically like to just kind of pay attention to ensure that it's adding the files is the file size. So if you notice, we have 3000 and then 700, and these should actually, those numbers should change after we import them. And they did. So this one went up to 3500, this one went up to 1600. So that's another indicator that it imported the files correctly. But if you want to be for sure, again, you can open up Gauntlet 4. And that is the new engine acceleration noise that we just imported, basically. So that's essentially the gist of the installation. Now, there's going to be two examples that we'll give here. So I have a before and after for, because even though we replaced the sound for an existing car, you can still use this sound for an add-on car. And I'll show you how to do that as well. So like just for example, let's go back to our mods folder. I'm going to go to update x64 DLC packs. And here's my DLC list basically with all my add-on cars. Okay, so I actually have a car that is a Hellcat. This is actually a Charger Hellcat, but the reason why I'm using this as an example is because if we go into the metadata for the vehicle, we will see that the audio hash or audio name hash, which is basically the name of the vehicle that they're borrowing the audio from for this add-on car, is Gauntlet 4. So this Hellcat was using the Gauntlet 4 noise or sound to begin with. Now you can do this for any add-on car. So let's say you had another Hellcat, or let's go back. I think I do have another Hellcat here. And again, just kind of keep this path in, I don't know, screenshot it or something like that. This is where most of the vehicle metadata is going to be for most add-on cars. Now, let's say, let's see, I should have another Hellcat. Okay, so SJ Dodge I know is a Hellcat add-on as well. So we go into this one's metadata. See, this one's just using the regular Gauntlet sound. So if I wanted to add the new sound that we just added, all I would have to do is change what's in between here, the audio hash name or audio name hash, to Gauntlet 4. If I were to change that to Gauntlet 4, then it's going to use the same noise or the same sound that we just installed and replaced on Gauntlet 4. So that's pretty much it as far as the installation process goes, and as far as how to assign, or I guess apply, the engine sound to add-on vehicles. So what we'll go ahead and do from here is we'll start up the game and we'll do some before and after comparisons. All right, y'all. So we got the Gauntlet Hellfire here. This is the before, so let's jump in. Alright, so that's how the motor sounds before the mod. Alright, Joe. So we got the Hellfire out again. Okay. I can hear the difference. It definitely sounds like the engine noise. It's just all the sounds together, I think, make it sound a little different. I'm not sure. Ooh. Huh. I'm not sure which one I like better, honestly. And I don't have a Hellcat, so I don't know if this is how a Hellcat really sounds. But alright, that's as far as the Hellfire goes. Let me go ahead and load up the add-on Hellcat, and we'll see how that one sounds. Now I wanted to give you another example with an add-on car. So this is a Hellcat Charger. This is an add-on vehicle, and let's hear the before. Okay, now this has the same. Hold on. Okay, so this actually has the same audio. It uses the same audio as the Hellfire that we just tested out. Now, as you can tell, it does sound a little different on the add-on car. So I'm not sure. There might be different files used for like the exhaust pops and everything like that. but I know for a fact that the audio file for this particular Hellcat is for the Gauntlet 4. And now we got the train in the way. So let's just go ahead and skip to the I'll show you how it sounds after installing the Gauntlet 4 audio. Alright, y'all. So now here we are with the add-on Hellcat. As I mentioned, it is a Charger. See how this one sounds. Okay. Damn, this car's fast. Yo, you know what? I don't. So, obviously, you can hear the engine sound, the exhaust. The exhaust actually sounds kind of different on this car, the add-on car. I'm not sure why. But also, I just don't know if I really like how this sounds. Like, again, I don't have a Hellcat. I don't know if this is how a Hellcat really sounds, whether it be a Charger or a Challenger. But I'm not sure if I just like how it sounds, period. So put it in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Did it sound better before or after? I think it, honestly, I think after sounded better on the Hellfire than it does on this Hellcat. But I don't know. We might have to look for another Hellcat sound. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Before and after on both vehicles, on both the Hellfire and the Hellcat. I can't make up my mind. It might take a little bit of time. So. But anyways, I appreciate y'all watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. And I hope this tutorial helped. Stay tuned because I will be making more tutorials and more Life of Franklin videos. So again, I appreciate y'all watching, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Alright? Peace.